All right, welcome back to Rubbin Minds. We're going to be talking about e-commerce now, and it's something that's caught Nigerians seriously. A lot of people are starting to go down that route. Traditional markets are still a big deal, but I mean, they are getting to have some competition now from the online side of things. And I have here with me the CEO, Mall of Africa, Tokwe Folayan. Thanks for being here today. Is it Mall of Africa or Mall for Africa?
Mall for Africa.
Mall for Africa.
Yes.
Okay. Your concept is actually very interesting. Let's just start with that now. How is that different from everything else?
Okay, so the concept is allowing you to shop globally, and then you can pick up here.
Okay.
We have your items delivered here. So it's slightly different from your traditional e-commerce company who basically puts whatever they want online, and then you have to shop from their store with their items.
Okay.
For us, we let you shop from over 120 US and UK stores, and in a couple of weeks, your items are delivered locally.
How does that work? I mean, I'm not trying to get into your business model or whatever, but I mean, we've heard a lot of things, there are a lot of stores that don't accept Nigerian cards, they don't deliver to Nigeria. A lot of these international or online platforms or shops or stores or whatever. So how are you able to break that?
Okay, so with several of these stores, we actually have partnerships with them. Okay. So they know and trust us, so they deal with us directly, even though they understand the items may be coming to Nigeria or other African countries. So that's one major difference between us, and that's how we assist our customers in solving the local problem of not accepting Nigerian cards or not shipping to Nigeria, those kinds of things.
Why is that still a problem, though? I know it's something that's been a problem for, 20, 25, 30 years, but the online platforms in Nigeria are a little more mature, I'd like to believe. People use cards more often now. Mm-hmm. Cash is still king, but in a lot of the urban cities, cards are also, the online space is growing. Why is Nigeria still very hard to accept for a lot of these international online platforms?
Well, two things are happening. If you look at e-commerce from the genesis, even in the US where it really started, there was slow adoption. Then you hit a pivot point and things start picking up. Nigeria may not yet be at that pivot point, but it's coming. But secondly, the truth is that we suffer from the stigma that we've had for some years. Yeah. And it takes a while for stores and companies, especially abroad, to overcome the stigma Nigeria has.
We're still talking about dangers now. A lot of Nigerians also still have that fear even of putting their information online because, some have had experiences. I know people who have had experiences, know. And e-commerce is one place or a platform where putting out information is compulsory. You have to put your online information out there or data for you to be able to achieve whatever it is you want to achieve with maybe buying a shirt or buying whatever it is you want to buy. How dangerous is it still for the Nigerian customer?
Look, I will confess there are still definitely dangers. Most companies, and we can talk about mobile payment systems or even the companies like your eTransact or InterSwitch are really trying to assist us in solving that problem. But one thing we have to realize is that, we are moving towards that way anyhow. So it is an opportunity for anyone to, assist in solving those problems. One might be identity. The other might be just transaction fraud. So even our banks are assisting us. They're trying to encourage you, be careful where you put your information. Always carry your token, those kinds of things. So with these kinds of developments, like the pin and chip device, we are gradually overcoming many of these problems.
Are these things uniquely Nigerian problems, though?
I would say no. Even in the UK, they use the chip and pin. You have your tokens. So no, they're not Nigerian. They are universal. It's just that we're still at an early stage, so customers need to be aware of the risks and educate themselves and basically protect their information. Once you protect your information, it's going to be very challenging for someone to access your account, for example.
What are we doing here? I know that I've had card issues in the US, so I can't say it doesn't happen there, but it's probably, are we doing something wrong here that's making maybe not secure enough for people to put their information on, or does it just happen that we're just a little more corrupt, if I may use those words?
I'm not going to say we're doing anything wrong. I just think a lot of people need to be more educated. So for example, when you're putting your information on a website, make sure it is secure. There are little things you can observe that all major browsers have. So there's a little padlock, or it might say HTTPS, those kinds of things. And once you see that, and it's from a trusted site with the URL you know and trust, like any of the major banks' URLs, then you're probably more than 90% secure that this is a trusted site, and your transaction will be, safe and secure. But you're right. Anywhere in the world, there are even hackers that hack into banks that take information. So it's a global phenomenon.
Yeah.
But there are definitely ways you can secure your information. You just have to be educated about it. And the advantages too, because it makes your life easy.
Yeah.
Imagine having to go to the bank in those days and carry your Ghana must go back. You don't have to do that anymore. You can just go and buy your ticket or online without the hassle.
You mentioned education there a few times now. Who's the onus on? Is it on you, the service provider, or it's on the banks?
Honestly, since it's your account and your money, you need to be sure that you educate yourself.
Okay.
But the onus as a community is on everybody, because as a bank, you want to make sure that your customers are happy, their money is safe. But ultimately, the customer is the one that needs to know and educate himself.
Ask questions.
Ask questions, yes.
Okay, let's talk about your online space in Nigeria now, with e-commerce in particular. It's been very interesting in the last 3, 4, 5 years. There's a lot of buzz. I've read so many articles, Nigeria and international, about how it's become this new space to invest in. Is it all noise? Is it really that good?
Look, I think e-commerce is big. I don't know if you monitor the global e-commerce space. Several of the e-commerce companies are posting huge profits and everything. Amazon is, huge. It posted a huge profit recently. It's here to stay, and it's the way of the future. And there's so many benefits. So for example, if you go into a store today, there are probably only a limited number of items that they can stock. But if you go online, every single item in the world is in stock. As far as it's still available, it's in stock. So that's one of the benefits that you get from e-commerce, from being online, rather than having a regular brick and mortar store. Now there are some advantages. Yes, you can walk into a store, buy your item, and you're wearing it in an hour.
Yeah.
So obviously, but if you want selection at a reasonable price, it's hard to beat e-commerce. It's hard to beat the internet. So the internet buys you a lot, even convenience. Yeah.